people steal your shit and like ASAP.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah.
People don't give a fuck.
Nope.
The one thing that I hate about this time of year or like the holiday time is driving on the road. You would think with our schedule, we kind of, we don't have like a 9 to 5, so we can get out there and get the Christmas shopping done and be okay with the traffic. It was like rush hour out there at 12 o'clock, dude. And you can always tell who's driving in front of you by how shitty they are driving. It's like you pull up beside somebody, like, I bet it's an old motherfucker in this car. I bet it's like and you get beside him, you're like, I knew it. This old motherfucker is driving so goddamn slow. Act like you got somewhere to be, people.
Hurry it up.
Dude, it's the worst. Welcome to the Alpha Geek Podcast. We love everybody. Old people too. We love everybody. And we embrace our geekdom and respect everyone else's. I'm here with my boy Taras. What's up, man?
Yo, what's up? Have you seen the Matt Rife Netflix special, comedy special?
I haven't watched it.
Do you know who he is, Matt Rife?
Oh yeah, for sure.
His whole, I think we were talking about him, but he is losing his fan base because his fan base are all mostly girls, and I guess he's trying to like switch over and get more like a male audience or older audience. But he was talking about old people. He's like, I love old people. He's like, if I could hook up with an old person, he's like, I would. And I think, yeah.
First of all, that's your first mistake. Why are you trying to switch over to dudes? I mean, if
Seriously.
you're a good looking dude and you got the majority of your fan base are women, let it ride.
Yeah.
Like, shit.
Yeah.
I don't want my fan base to be a giant meat factory.
Seriously.
No, we love everybody. But I mean, there's nothing wrong with having a bunch of ladies around who likes your shit.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, they're coming out. They're coming out. But we try to watch it and we got like 10 minutes into it and I was like, man, because he's like really big into small clubs and really, I think he got really popular. He's like one of those Instagram comedians. He got really popular in that, and it didn't work. That Netflix special did not work. Anyway, so if you want to see it, you like him, watch it.
Don't do it.
But not that I'm a comedy connoisseur, but I come from the generation of Eddie Murphys, and actually some of the comedians now I really like is the guy that does The Machine.
Shit, what's his name? He has a movie on Netflix as well.
Yeah.
Crap. Big dude.
Yeah. And he doesn't wear a shirt.
Never wears a shirt. I don't know why we were forgetting his name. So I think we talked about this one time. Joe Rogan put a bunch of those guys on. I mean, and they were already, popular and established comedians. But Joe Rogan kind of makes, he has like this group of comedians of him and Jordan Peters and
Russell Peters.
Yep. And there's a Jordan something else. But yeah, those guys, he kind of put them on and they're all like super successful right now.
Yeah.
They all do small rooms together and some, they do big rooms together sometimes, big, arenas and stuff like that. And they're all doing well. It goes to show you don't have to be a dickhead. You can share the wealth a little bit and you're not going to sacrifice if you go about it the right way. So
sure. Yeah,
man. I love comedy but I like a certain, I feel like if I start to watch someone, I gotta watch them all the time. If I try to introduce something else different, it kind of, I don't vibe with it that much. Like if I'm watching Chappelle, I'm only watching Chappelle or Kevin Hart or, whoever it may be.
There was a time that comedy was in danger not too long ago.
Yeah, it was.
It was like everyone was getting canceled. And
who else? It's the world we live in. I feel like you can't say shit.
Nope.
You can't say anything. Somebody's going to get upset about it. And there's always something to get upset about.
Yeah.
But you can I feel like you'll be better off if you just say what you want to say. And I mean, obviously you don't want to be like a hate monger or anything like that. Yeah. And just do it in an unapologetic way. Hey, like this is the way I feel about it. I'm not going to superimpose my feelings about it onto you, but this is the way I feel, and I'm cool with that. If you don't, cool, and just keep it moving.
Do you think comedy of days that we grew up in would be acceptable anymore?
Hell no. Hell no, dude. You can't, you think Eddie Murphy would get canceled? I mean, proof positive. Do you think the Eddie Murphy that we're getting now, he's older, true. But the Eddie Murphy we're getting now, the content we're getting from him is the same that we were getting from the 80s? No way.
Absolutely not. I was watching the, I can't remember what show it was on HBO, but they were talking about Archie Bunker and Sanford and Son and what was that? Moving On Up.
The Jeffersons.
Yeah. And talking about the writers and how society was then. And if they're going to try to do that today, there'd be like, no way.
Yeah, no way. But maybe that's what we need, though.
Maybe.
Not that we need, but I feel like there is still a group of people out there, a large group of people that there are inherently good people who just want to be entertained, and they want to be entertained by what they want to be entertained by. And it doesn't mean that if George Jefferson calls somebody a honky on, on TV, they gonna go out and start calling people honkies and shit. It sounds ridiculous in the first place. Where did that even come from? But I feel like there are enough people out there who would vibe with it. But the masses, though, it's too much of a cancel culture
for sure
out there, man. Speaking of getting canceled, you hear about the Jonathan Majors?
I saw you post something about that.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So if you're not up on game, Jonathan Majors was found guilty of misdemeanor. It was misdemeanor assault and harassment. From I think it happened originally back in October, and he probably won't get any jail time, but he could get up to a year. I think it was one account of misdemeanor harassment and 2 counts of misdemeanor assault. He could get up to a year in jail. He probably won't. But the biggest thing is that Marvel immediately, I feel like the ink wasn't even dry yet, and Marvel immediately cut all ties.
Who filed the suit?
His girlfriend. They had been dating for a while. She is a celebrity or in the public eye in some capacity. I don't know if she's a model, but she filed a suit, and there's actually a video of him kind of roughing her up a little bit, and he from the video also, I don't know if there's other content out there, but he was kind of trying to push her in the car or trying to get her to leave or trying to go. He was aggressively trying to get her in the car. He was definitely manhandling for sure. And then he runs off into an alleyway or something like that. Maybe he sees that somebody got him on camera or something and tries to evade, but
jeez.
Yeah, man, he's out of there, dude. It cost him millions.
Yeah.
Millions of dollars. So now you got to figure out what's going to happen with the whole Avengers 5 thing, because Avengers 5 was the Kang dynasty. And of course, he was Kang. So what do you do? Do you try to recast him, or do you try to go a totally different way? There's reports from Marvel in both directions that we are going to kind of abandon the Kang storyline, which didn't get much traction anyway. The Ant-Man Quantumania didn't do well. And then even in the Loki series, season 2, I think there's so many with was it Victor Timely, his alter ego, his different universal self. There's enough liberty there that you can just end it the way you ended it and just go a different way. So I think trying to recast them is going to put a huge curse on whoever they recast them with,
because they recast in Iron Man, was it
Terrence Howard with Don Cheadle, which was a great recast, and the way they did it was pretty cool. In the beginning of Iron Man 2, it's what are you doing here? He's I'm here, deal with it, let's move on, and then just leave it. So they addressed the fact that the fans would recognize that, because Terrence Howard at the time was really big. He just did Hustle and Flow. Like he was starting to, you know, climb as far as popularity in Hollywood. And I'm not sure what happened with that. I think he was asking for too much money.
Too much money, yeah. I read that.
He was trying to get that Robert Downey Jr. money.
Yeah.
And like, wow. And that's the thing, is he was going to make what he was going to make that movie, but if he would have just stayed on.
Yeah.
I mean, War Machine has been in what? 7 Marvel movies.
Yep.
And then the TV shows as well.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Yeah. Which the TV show was really good. Was it Falcon and Winter Soldier?
Yeah, Falcon and Winter Soldier. But he was in Secret Wars too, or Secret Invasion as well. So
I don't think I've seen that yet.
Yeah, Secret Invasion. Like, it was okay.
Okay.
It was okay. You can if you want to watch it just from an informational, so you kind of know how the story's progressing, great. But from an entertainment standpoint, I give it a 6 out of 10. Wasn't that great? Especially the way it ended. It was kind of whack the way it ended. But like Don Cheadle is a great War Machine. He's great. So Rhodey, Colonel Rhodes. So we'll see what happens. A lot of people are hoping that they go the Doctor Doom storyline. They've been wanting to do that for a while. Doctor Doom is probably after Thanos, they did such a great job with Thanos as the antagonist that is going to be like, you got to have somebody just as big. So that really only leaves Galactus and Doctor Doom. And those characters are a lot more popular villains than Kang was. Yeah. So the people have been waiting for Doom.
Wasn't Galactus introduced in somewhere in one of the movies? Was there a mention? And
one of the I think the Fantastic Four sequel, Fantastic Four 2, the original Fantastic Four that they made, what was that, early 2000s. He was they introduced Silver Surfer and Galactus in that movie, and then of course they rebooted it and threw all that shit in the trash. So
Fantastic Four seems like one of those franchises or casting just kept getting recast. Like, they're like what, on the 4th?
Yeah, this will be the 4th. Yeah. I mean, the first 2 movies were, they were awesome. I like those movies. I think Chris Evans is the Human Torch. Jessica Alba, Lord, she was on point back then. She was the it girl back then. But I don't know what happens. The rights are shifted from Sony to Marvel, and then some of these rights come back, and then now all those rights have shifted back to Marvel. Now they have the opportunity to make a movie, and I mean, I guess you can't recast those people because now Chris Evans is
Captain America,
unless you do some sort of multiverse thing to where he's still Johnny Torch and some multiverse, some universe. So, but you're better off recasting. I think they've casted the majority of the movie. Pedro Pascal is
I saw that.
Mr. Fantastic. So people are kind of up in arms about the gender bent Silver Surfer. So
oh really?
Yeah. We talked about it. The girl that Anna from Queen's Gambit.
Oh, right. Yeah, we did that.
That's not confirmed yet, though.
Okay.
But she's been meeting with Marvel, and they think that she is gonna be Silver Surfer.
It's okay.
Yeah, I think I'm the type of person where I think I want my comic book heroes to look like they look in the comic book. And while there's some liberty to play with a couple of these characters here and there. Some of it is like, man, that's so far out of what we're used to as fans. And not that we hate any sort of different demographic of people, but man, I want to see what it looks like when I was reading it when I was 10 years old, so we'll see.
I agree with that. But like Silver Surfer, was he that big? I mean, he was a really.
Oh yeah, he was huge. He's huge, man. Yeah, especially in the late 90s.
Yeah,
Silver Surfer was huge.
I gotta, one of these days, I gotta bring in if I have 4 or 5 boxes, good sized boxes of all my comics. I still have them all. Oh yeah, they're still all wrapped. And I think I collected Silver Surfer for a little bit, but I started collecting in the early to mid 90s. So there's like a lot of like Spawn. I have all the Spawn.
Oh yeah.
Much.
Yeah.
And then I don't know. I got to go through the box. I don't remember, but
I had at one time I had a crazy comic book and baseball card collection. And when I left home after leaving high school, my mom was like, I'm gonna move to North Carolina. I was like, I'm not trying to fucking move to North Carolina. So I got a place here. And in that move, I put a bunch of stuff in storage, and I don't know what happened, but in that move, transitioning from place to place, someone took all my comic books, my baseball cards. I mean, I had some pretty good stuff. I had Bo Jackson rookie card. I had King Griffey Jr. rookie card. I had Mark McGwire rookie card. I had some killers.
Wow.
I had some bangers. All gone.
Do you have any, or have you ever tried to sell any?
I sold to a kid in my class, and I didn't make any big money. I probably got robbed on it, but I had a Nolan Ryan. I don't even think it was a rookie card, but it was a Nolan Ryan card. He was big at the time, and I ended up selling it to him for like, I don't know, like $30 or some shit like that. I got robbed.
I always think about like I still do this. I'm like, someday this is going to be worth something.
Yeah,
like someday, and but I never know how to go about how to resell it and what to resell it for. And like, there's this guy I follow when it comes to guitars. It's called the Trogley Guitar Show or something, like really weird name. But this dude's like a legit, like he buys these super expensive guitars, like $6,000 to $8,000.
Jeez.
Takes them apart, videos the whole thing, and then resells them for a premium. But it's like he's got the platform and the following to do it, but it's like, how do I get like Spawn #1 and like try to sell it to somebody? Like,
why does he take the guitars apart?
Just to show what's on the inside and how good condition is. Yeah.
Is that like the industry standard for that? People want to see, like, especially if you're buying something online, do people want to see like certain aspects of, like, if I say this guitar was Jimi Hendrix's guitar and you can authenticate it, that's not enough. Do people still want to see that, like, certain aspects of that guitar taken apart or something like that? Yeah.
There's like, because people can like Hendrix guitar is like, it's a classic Strat body, and like he's known for like playing a right-handed guitar, left-handed, so he flips it upside down. But if it's like really his, they're gonna want to look at like what electronics were in there. If you open up the cavity and you look inside, and you could see, what kind of wood it is, and if it's aged properly, and then you look on the backside and like looking where the tailpiece is, and so there's just ways to. I mean, there's knockoffs and everything, right? Yeah. And so it's like, guitars are probably easier to authenticate because there's like specific craftsmanship, but I tell you, man, these Chinese factories, like, they know how to make stuff.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, because that's the difference between that and most antique markets. Like, if you have something that's considered of value or antique and it's been authenticated, they don't want you to touch it after that. They want to keep it far, far away from any human hands or anything like that. So I found that interesting.
The guitar store I used to work at, the House of Guitars, it's in Rochester, New York, and like all big bands. And back in the day, like we used to go to all these concerts, like Metallica came through, Ozzy came through, Shabba Ranks came through, Shabba. Like I met TLC came through.
Oh shit,
dude.
And you feel some kind of way about TLC.
Yeah.
Chili was that girl at one time. Good Lord.
But so these bands would come through because of all the vintage gear and all the vintage guitars and amps that they have, and they wouldn't ever really authenticate it. They wouldn't really take it apart. They would leave it just the way it is. So it's like you get a 56 Les Paul or something like that. They'll sell for like $40,000 or $50,000. I mean, people, and Metallica will come in and they'll pay it.
They'll pay that.
Yeah.
So if a good, I mean, and that's a guitar that's played by somebody who is like, like something like that. They'll buy it just as a collector item. They won't play that with that guitar at all. Right?
No,
usually.
Yeah, most collectors, like if it was me, I'd buy it and be like, okay, this is this is staying in the case. I'm not going to touch it. But like Joe Bonamassa, he'll buy the guitar, and he's like this famous blues player. Like he's like a legit like player. He adds value to it. So it's like, let's say it's Jimmy Page's guitar, and he's like, hey, I got this from Jimmy Page, and he takes it on tour and he plays it. So that's just adding to its pedigree. Right. And it's like all these names that are attached to it. So it's pretty cool. It's a really niche market, and you got to be really in it to, just like probably most art, you got to really know it to appreciate it and to be able to pay top dollar for it.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I guess that would be the equivalent of like, you know, LeBron wearing like a pair of Jordan 1s in the game and then selling those, right? Yeah. Like, holy shit, how much would those be worth?
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know the guitar game was like that. Like we've talked about this before. I've never been super musically inclined. I've never been musically inclined at all. But I do think how cool will it be? Like if I was one of those people who bought, I don't know, BB King's, guitar. If I was a musician, I would probably say, okay, I'll take it on tour once. I'll play it once, just to say I didn't just buy it so it can sit on a wall or somewhere, and then I would never touch it again. Put it in like some sort of like dry storage where nothing's gonna breathe on it.
Yep,
man. Now, have you known anyone personally that has bought a high value guitar like that and then resold it and made more than or the equivalent of what they made on purchasing it?
The only people that I know have done that would be the owners of House of Guitars, Bruce Shawbrook, Bruce and Armin. Like in the industry, like people know them, and they'll actively, well, at least when I used to work there, that was a long time ago, but they'll actively look and pay at that time top dollar, and they'll hang on to it. And
really?
It's like they've been in business. And this is like a privately owned music store. They've been in business for, I think, 50 years now. Dude, and their story is crazy. Like they're three brothers, and they're all three of them. Well, the one, Armin, the main owner, he was in jail.
Okay.
And like he met, who does the painting of the Campbell's soup? Guy's got white hair. Really famous painter. Anyway, he knew him, and they used to hang out. So he's super like famous in a weird kind of
obscure way.
But those guys, they hang on to those guitars for 20, 30 years. And, and even if a guy walked in and offered them, he's like, let's say they paid $2,000 for it or $5,000 for it. He was like, I'll give you $10,000 now for this guitar. They'll be like, nope, because they know it's going to be worth 40 or 50 or even more. So
wow. Projection.
Yeah.
I mean, what's the most expensive guitar you've seen go through? You said House of Guitars?
House of Guitars.
What was the most expensive guitar you've seen go through there?
Not that I've seen one get sold, but I knew one was of value, and this number may be accurate today's, but I feel like it was like $60,000.
60,000.
Yeah.
For a guitar.
Yeah.
Man.
And you would look at it, and it's just like, really?
Yeah, I mean, because I guess guitars don't get that elaborate, right? Mm-mm. I always thought those guitars, I guess, is this a guitar, the one with the piano on? What is that? I'm like, man, that shit must be expensive.
It's the keytar. The keytar.
They only use that in the 80s, probably. Right? Yeah. I thought it was, and then they have some that have like two. What's the neck?
The double neck?
Yeah. What's the purpose of the double neck?
One has 12 strings, the other one has 6 strings.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so you get a different sound out of that?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a different tone. Like the 12 string, Jimmy Page, I think, was the one that kind of made it famous. So the 12 string, it just has 12 strings on it. So each string is double stringed with an octave, except for the 2 high strings, the B and the E. So it just has a fuller, richer sound. Harder to play, but yeah.
Man.
I could talk about guitars.
Yeah, we're getting real geeky with these guitars, man. But that's cool though, because I like learning about things that I have like zero knowledge of, and maybe because I did pick up a guitar one time, acoustic guitar, and I think I learned how to play out "Smoke on the Water," and then I just gave up on it because it was too fucking difficult.
But when it comes to like, and I could totally nerd out about guitars, but it's like, who built it? What is it? When was it built? What was the run on it? Was it it a limited run? What factory was it built in? So it's not necessarily like you could get a Fender Strat. Like there's millions of Fender Strats, but it's like if you can narrow down that serial number to a certain time, and like they're tracked, man. They have like birth certificates and everything.
Really?
Like it's and who built it, what craftsman did it, what line it was done. Big thing like with Gibson is what factory it was built in, because one of the factories is now gone. So the Memphis factory, I think they shut down. But yeah, so I have like a Memphis hollow body Les Paul that I'm hanging on to that my buddy hooked me up with. Pretty inexpensive,
really,
but it's going to totally appreciate.
Yeah. So who's big? Is it Les Paul, Fender? Who's like the biggest, the most popular generally across the board?
Gibson and Fender.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're the ones that are they're the most collectible and probably the oldest. And that doesn't necessarily mean that they're the best. Although if there's any guitar players out there, they'll be like, screw you. But it's each player has like, it's just like cars. Each model fits a certain personality and a certain like, I have like Jacksons, and like Jacksons are known for like metal players. Like, and there's this guitar I'm looking at that John 5 plays. He was a guitar player for White Zombie. So there's just different player models too. So yeah.
I can't get into it.
But I appreciate you listening to me to talk about it. Like not many people will.
I'll stick with the cars, dude. I feel like I can be able to drive those things and just have a blast with them. But I do wish, like going back, I wish I could have gotten into some form of music. But time has passed. I'm too old for that shit now. I know that's not true, but
yeah. Now you're getting into dancing though.
Yeah, I'm getting into dancing now. Just find some other shit to break my body up.
I opened my my phone today, and one of my notifications was, and this is why I brought this guy in.
Oh yeah, dude, you got to check this. I got to check this shit out.
Look at it. This is from 1990. I don't know if it has a date or anything on it. Do you remember Warner Brothers stores in the malls?
No, they had Warner Brothers stores in the mall.
Yeah. So like, you remember they had Disney stores?
Yeah, I do remember that.
So Warner Brothers stores, I think, only lasted a few years, and I used to know a girl that worked at one, and she totally hooked me up with when George Clooney was Batman. So I have the George Clooney Batman, I have the Arnold Schwarzenegger Dr. Freeze, and then I have Batman Beyond figurines like that. And it was funny because I was looking at it, I was like, I got to bring these in for the background. But George Clooney was interviewed, and he was asked the question, would he ever reprise his role as Batman outside of Flash? Because he I don't know if that was CGI, and he was like,
he was in it.
No amount of money or drugs will get me back to do it.
This was Clooney?
Yeah.
God, yeah. I couldn't see Clooney doing it again. But he's just not. I don't think he was sellable as Batman in the first one. Like Bruce Wayne, he was pretty good. Batman, not so much. Wasn't he the one that had the nipples on the suit?
Yep.
The nipples was built in the suit.
Oh, they're not in the figurine.
Why the fuck do you have to put the nipples on the suit?
Yeah.
I couldn't remember if it was him or Val Kilmer, but I guess it was Clooney.
No, I think it was Clooney, because I think he made a comment about it. Like he was playing the ambiguously gay Batman, maybe? I don't know.
Why wouldn't you, like, if I'm making a suit and I'm gonna put the nipples on there, I just make the dick bigger, like like oh shit, Batman, ooh, Daddy Bat, shit, yeah. Why make your nipples? Yeah, why make your nipples hard? I don't know. I don't know how
to respond to that right now.
Hell yeah. Like,
oh my God.
Like if you had to, like, you're in there, you're sewing a suit, you're like, yeah, this shit gonna be fire, son. But I ain't carrying it down there. Let me go ahead and sew in a little pad, a little cup.
Oh yeah.
Man.
But I was thinking, I was like, when it comes to ranking the actors that played Batman, and like and maybe they were just asking because of the whole Flash thing. I was like, why would you even approach George Clooney to ask him that question? Because he was like, I feel like he was like the worst Batman ever.
Yeah. But I think that's the culture, though.
Yeah.
It's like anytime anyone has been in any comic book or, comic movie, the fans always want to know, oh, is there a chance that they'll come back and do something? Especially with all like the multiverse shit being thrown around now. I mean, you can virtually make anything happen.
Yeah.
So,
do you think there's been like a bunch of Marvel and multiverse burnout on the public?
Yeah, I think because everybody's doing it.
Yeah.
Like what's the movie came out? Everything everywhere all at once. And, they did that, and then Rick and Morty plays with the multiverse stuff. I mean, it's just it's the flavor of the month right now.
Rick and Morty.
Yeah, they do more. Yeah, oh man, they do. Have you not watched it at all? Dude, Rick and Morty is incredible. It's awesome, dude, and they do a lot of multiverse stuff.
I didn't know.
And they actually make it. Those writers, and I think something happened with the writers where the old writers are gone now. There's new writers or something like that, and some of the voice actors have gone as well. But that show is fucking awesome, dude.
Wow,
it's really good.
It's animated, right?
It's
cartoon.
It's definitely top 5 animated shows.
I gotta
streaming.
check that out.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
My staff, we were talking last night, and they were mentioning the movie, the series, The Mockingbird, the new
Hunger Games movie.
New Hunger Games. They loved it. They loved it.
Yes.
And I was like, was that a reboot? I'm like, it's like reboot after reboot after reboot.
It's a prequel.
Yeah, that's what they're telling me.
It's a prequel.
Have you seen it?
I think we're gonna watch it tonight, actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
They said it was really good.
Yeah, I heard the same thing. I can't. I love. I like the Hunger Games. I like all those movies, but I like Jennifer Lawrence too.
Dude.
And it was like part of the reason that when they came out and said that they're gonna do a prequel, I was like, well, Jennifer Lawrence ain't gonna be in it.
Right.
I'll take my time and I'll wait till you get to streaming before I before I watch it.
Yeah.
So
yeah. And I was worried. I was like, because they were like doing a marathon of the Hunger Games on one of the cable stations, and they were showing previews of the new Hunger Games, and I was like, "Is this a freaking musical?" Like,
yeah.
I don't like. And my staff said, "Well, there is some aspect of it, but it's not like a musical."
Yeah. Why does everything have to be a fucking musical? It's music in everything. Fucking Hugh Jackman. Fuck you, Hugh Jackman.
Yeah.
He did that to us.
He did it. Yeah.
He started doing
it.
it. Yeah, he brought the whole musical thing back, and now people just want to add it in. It's in Family Guy and The Simpsons and the movies. It is. It's in everything, dude. That's like some sort of musical aspect. And I guess it's kind of cool if you like musicals, but how many people when the last time you had a conversation about a fucking musical with somebody?
True. Greatest Showman, though, I'm a huge fan of it. Well, okay, so I love music, so I was into it. I gotta say, on a big screen, I wouldn't go out of my way and see Moulin Rouge again or The Greatest Showman.
No.
But yeah, I guess musicals.
It's like, if you're gonna have a musical, make a musical.
Yeah,
but don't give me a show that we're used to watching, and all of a sudden, because musicals are trending, just go ahead and add a number to it.
Yeah, yeah. Was it West Side Story? They try to redo that with and who was the director of that?
Did they redo West Side Story?
Yeah. And oh god, I gotta look it up. But the director of I gotta look it up. But it was a bomb.
I
don't think.
You can't. Yeah. Some movies don't fuck with.
Yeah.
You can't mess with some stuff. What's the other one with the gang movie? It's like with the Socias and the Johnny Depp was in it. Not The Outsiders. Shit. Why am I forgetting the? Is it Outsiders?
Well, yeah, The Outsiders.
Yeah, The Outsiders. Yeah.
Are they gonna redo that?
No. I'm saying that's some of those movies that you just don't mess with.
Oh, yeah.
You don't play with them.
There's a movie that I was going through my YouTube and it came up. I think it was a recent video this guy made about The Fifth Element and how that was kind of like, it wasn't a box office hit, but worldwide it grossed over like $276 million. And I think it did like 60 million in the US. But there's a musical aspect of that because there's an opera singer scene. But I got some fun facts about that.
What are
Did you
they?
see The Fifth Element?
Yeah.
Because Bruce Willis was it was Bruce Willis and Mel Gibson that originally they were going to cast.
Okay.
And they wanted a $100 million budget. The production company, which was not Warner Brothers, I think, or Sony, I can't remember which production company actually ended up picking it up. They were like 100 million is way too much. So they dropped it to 90 million, but it's pretty incredible, like the story behind it, because there's like this major clothing designer that made all the costumes, the French comic book writer, because it was an adaptation of, I can't remember what the comic was, but it was a French comic. So it's a really fascinating like video that this guy did on it. But anyway, like the whole thing of the reboots when they released the all the like extended versions of it. So of course it came out on VHS first.
Right. Of course. That's the first one you got.
This guy right here, he's a hater of VHS.
VHS.
But then they put it out on DVD, Blu-ray. And then when they came out on Blu-ray, it was under all this scrutiny because they didn't have like the DTS sound. So all like, cause the soundtrack to it was like epic. And so Sony re-released it on like Blu-ray, Laserdisc. But yeah. So anyway, it was a fascinating 10-minute video I watched last night.
Mel Gibson isn't in that though.
No.
They didn't. They never. Bruce Willis and Chris Tucker is in it.
Chris Tucker.
He's in it.
And Chris Tucker was not the original cast. Casting for it. I think he was one of the originals, but it was between him and Prince.
What?
Yes.
Oh, that would have been dope if Prince would have done it. Probably. I don't know. I can't imagine anyone doing as good a job as Chris Tucker did in that role. But man, Prince would have been awesome.
Corbin, my man. Corbin. He was funny.
Man,
but
Chris Tucker.
Bruce Willis dropped. Bruce Willis did not want to take it because he just came off of 2 flops. So he was afraid that this was going to be another one. And so he met with the director and he was like, well, tell me what the script is. Show me the script. And he read it and he loved it. And so he took it. Yeah.
Man, Bruce Willis ain't never been afraid to make a fucking flop. Have you seen? Or Die Harder with More Vengeance or some shit like that. I mean,
those are money grabs.
Yeah. He's in a bunch of, movies, especially now. I mean, he's older now and not as in demand as he once was, but there's some shit on the streaming service that I'm like, oh shit, that's a Bruce Willis movie.
Yeah.
Almost like Nicolas Cage. Nicolas Cage made some shit. You never like, what the fuck is that? He's like an old man.
Nicolas Cage is one of those guys that'll do anything. Like, he puts out garbage.
Dude. Well, people say it's because he has tax issues. He got to pay the tax man back. Yeah. But shit, do it. But some of the stuff he's coming out, people just aren't going to the movies to see Nicolas Cage anymore. I don't know, but people still acknowledge Nicolas Cage as one of the greatest actors of all time. But in like modern day anyway. But people don't go out to see movies. What's the one he just made with Nicholas Hoult? Where he's the vampire.
Oh yeah.
And Holt is like the guy that's getting him all the people to eat. Shit.
It was like a comedy kind of thing, right?
And we watched it, and it was pretty good. I watched it anyway. Jamie fell asleep, which is pretty normal for her when she's when we sit down on the couch and watch a movie.
Didn't he? But so Nicolas Cage, because when we just started talking about, I was thinking about Ghost Rider. I was excited about Ghost Rider. I was like, man, this is going to be great when it first came out. And I saw it and I was like,
yeah. I mean, for me, I kind of liked it just because I like the character. The Ghost Rider at that time, the Ghost Rider was one of my favorite characters. And I liked that because I just wanted to see Ghost Rider on film. And Nicolas Cage, Ghost Rider, shit, easy day.
Yeah.
But yeah, I definitely recognize how people were like,
because he was also cast for, or he made a cameo appearance in Flash as Superman.
Yeah, he was cast as Superman. Then he looked like shit in the suit though.
Oh, terrible.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Oh, really?
Yeah, screen test, and they screen tested the suit on him, and it was like, no.
Man, how would what universe? What universe were they in to try to cast him as Superman? I don't even understand it. It was like, what's the one Superman that's the the Mixoplex galaxy of that Superman. Do you remember that?
What you mean, Dean Cain?
No. The animated series. It was when what's his name? The
Imp. You talk about a little imp,
Mr.
Mixoplex.
Yeah, I think it was his name. But like they had a Superman that was like he was like blue and he was all like chiseled looking, weird looking.
Bizarro.
Yeah,
Bizarro Superman.
Yeah, I was like, I could see Nicolas Cage playing Bizarro.
Nicolas Cage should not play Superman at all. He's just, I mean, it was one of those things like, all right, he's popular in Hollywood. Superman's our most popular character. Easy fit.
Yeah.
But and that's the one thing I can say about Marvel. Marvel has done a really great job in casting heroes. Like, some castings like Robert Downey Jr. No one can be Iron Man. Nope. Those Tom Holland, nobody can be Spider-Man now. Yep. So they definitely Scarlett Johansson is Black Widow. Nobody can be Black Widow now.
Yeah.
So it's they do a great job. But some of these, like when they just throw people into roles just because they're popular, it's like shit. Or they're hot at the time.
Yeah.
We'll see. That's what I kind of worry about Pedro Pascal as Mr. Fantastic, because that dude's in everything. He's in everything. Yeah. So at some point, I hope it's good. But
I will say this about Pedro. Pedro is not like a Ryan Reynolds, or where Ryan Reynolds is Deadpool all the time. It doesn't matter what role he plays, he's Deadpool. Pedro is like just a legit good actor, and like from not Walking Dead, The Last of Us, to when he was in Wonder Woman, which wasn't the greatest role for him, to him and The Mandalorian. Like those were like clear different characters, and he did them well, I thought.
Yeah. So are you saying that Ryan Reynolds is a one-dimensional actor? Is that what we're saying here? Speak it to the mic, please. Speak it to the mic.
Ryan Reynolds, if you click like and subscribe, you are the greatest actor ever, and you are so versatile.
Man.
But he is versatile because he's not only an actor, but he's a businessman. He's a promoter.
Look, my man back. He's moonwalking right now out of the door. That's like saying Vin Diesel is one dimensional. I mean, come on. Come on.
I am Groot.
He is Groot in every movie that he's ever been in. Man, but that dude's phenomenal.
So on the business side of things, what is going on with Conor McGregor?
Oh, so he's trying to get another fight. They're trying to set him up to fight at early 2024.
Okay.
So
I heard like he's in trouble with the country, and they're like, he posted something, he made a tweet about something where I wasn't sure if he was trying to run for a political seat or whatever, but like he got involved in something, and they're saying something about him.
Oh no, I heard he had some heat with the Irish mafia or some shit like that.
Oh.
I don't, dude. It's so hard to keep up with it. I haven't heard anything about Conor at all. I know he's Jack. He's supposed to be in that Roadhouse movie. He is in that Roadhouse movie with Jake Gyllenhaal that's coming out. But other than that, and I know he's trying to. His manager went on MMA Junkie and said that they're trying to finish up a deal that'll put him in a fight in early 2024. So we'll see. I mean, I don't know if Conor got it anymore.
No, I don't.
And he shouldn't have it anymore.
Right.
Conor's a rich motherfucker. Like you fight. People who fight. The best fighters who are in their prime and doing their best work are partially doing that from a necessity to gain wealth and to take care of their family. And dude, once you've done that, why what's the purpose of fighting? Especially you're acting, you got a suit line, you got a whiskey, you got so much shit going on. Why do you have to go in there and risk getting your face beat in to make a buck? So
Rocky, when I got home last night, I turned on the TV and Rocky just happened to be on. It was the scene where Apollo Creed was in his living room and he's on the desk and he's talking about business, and his trainer was watching the TV, and Rocky was in the meat plant like punching away, and his trainer's like, hey, you got to check this out, and Apollo's like, whatever, I don't really care about him because he's like rich and he's talking about all these things. And so
Yeah,
that's Conor McGregor now. He's the Apollo Creed.
You got to have that hunger, man. And I'll be the first to tell you, like when I was fighting before I started opening the gym and it was doing all that thing, like I was like hungry. I would go out there like a fucking bandicoot, bro.
Yeah.
And like a bandicoot.
Crash Bandicoot.
Like, yeah, because it's the most aggressive animal I can think of at the time. But when I opened the gym and started making a little bit more money and got a little bit more comfortable, that hunger, like even and it's really unintentional. It's like you just got so much other shit going on that in order for you to be competitive in the MMA realm, it has to be all hands on deck. You have to, put all your energy into that, and you can't do that while you're trying to start a business, doing your fucking taxes. So.
Yeah,
I get it. Like, you want to evolve as a person. It's like, dude, stop fighting.
Yeah.
Just, we appreciate you doing what you do. We love to see you hype a fight, but just stop it.
Yeah.
Stop it, dude.
There's other people that stepped in that are good people that create hype now too. Like who's that dude? Who's that real skinny, raily dude that he's got different colored hair? Like
Sugar Shane, Sean O'Malley.
Sean O'Malley. Yeah.
He's starting to get irritating though.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's become, I don't know, people are going out of their way to sell fights. And he said something about Strickland. Strickland is a 105-pound champ.
Yeah.
And they were going back and forth at a presser. He said something about how he used to be abused as a kid or some shit like that, just to get the oohs and the ahs from the media and to get, clicks and bites. But dude, and same thing with Kobe Covington. Kobe Covington for this past weekend and lost to the champ. Why the fuck am I forgetting this name right now? He lost his welterweight fight to Rocky. Wow, why am I forgetting his name? God, you guys know his name. And in the press conference, he was like, "I'll see you in hell. I'm gonna take you to the depths of hell. We might see your dad down there."
Oh,
his dad was murdered like 4 to 5 years ago, something like that. And Leon Edwards. Leon Edwards is his name. And as soon as Leon heard it, he grabbed the closest thing he can grab and threw it at him. He was like, "We're not fucking, this is not a fight. This is not a sport anymore. I'm trying to fucking kill you." And you could tell he was just seized up with just anger. And even at the next night at the weigh-ins, still you can just see it in him. And I was kind of fearful. I was like, man, when you go into a fight with that much emotion, that that usually does not work well.
Yeah.
And you just look at Jose Aldo and Conor McGregor. He went in there with all that emotion and got clipped early. And luckily Leon came in and he stuck to the game plan and he beat him pretty handily. Four rounds to one. But dude, if you can't sell a fight to the crowd based on the merit of the person you're fighting, and if you can't keep it there, you shouldn't be fucking hyping a fight.
Yeah.
Don't talk about people's family, don't talk about people's kids and shit like that, and keep it on the fight. Find a way, be creative enough to find a way to hype that fucking fight with talking about within the parameters of what we're doing, which is fighting each other.
Yeah.
Because Leon Edwards wasn't trying to hear that shit. Leon Edwards went in there and beat the brakes off of him.
Yeah.
Man. And Kobe coming off of an 18-month layoff, ring rust, you say it comes into play maybe. But you timing more than anything. You haven't fought in 18 months and you gonna come talking shit to the dude that's the champ.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, man. But I'm glad that was me being in it and living it and doing that whole thing. I respect every competitor in there because it takes a lot to get in there. But in that fight, I was like, God, please beat the fuck out of this guy, because you don't want to be the guy that loses to the guy that talks shit about your dead dad either. Right? Yeah. So yeah, Leon.
Do you know if did he know that his dad was murdered?
Yeah.
Oh,
yes.
man.
He said it for that reason. Yeah, 100%.
Dude.
And yeah. That's the one thing I could say about Conor. Conor would hype a fight, but it was very rare that he would like talk about someone's family or anything like that. He was talking about how I'm gonna beat your ass, how you're a piece of shit, how you're this, you're that. But very few times did he ever, and maybe none, ever talk about the family or the loved ones of somebody that he was fighting.
Yeah, because he went after
Nurmagomedov.
Yeah,
and that's when he did. He was talking about his dad, and again he learned the hard way. You don't fuck with my family. That dude jumped over the fence and tried to beat everyone in Connor's team or everybody in the crew. He's like, all right, you're here because you're playing the character. I'm here because I'm trying to fucking kill you.
Yeah.
So
if you had a square off with a guy. Now, the only person I can relate with that's an emotionless machine is like George St. Pierre. Like he always seemed like just cold versus a guy who's kind of amped up and jumping and like, who would you be like, oh no.
Yeah, no, someone who's more emotionally like level-headed is like GSP for sure. Yeah. Like that's a scary motherfucker because a scared person fights the hardest. Somebody who's fearful. But someone who's angry is less equipped to fight to their highest capabilities because it's too much emotion. You're like, you're thinking about, you're trying so hard to hurt this person. You're blowing past all the windows, the opportunities you have to hurt this person.
Yeah.
So that's what made like guys like GSP or Anderson so great because they were just so relaxed.
Yeah.
Just relaxed the entire time. And the one time that GSP did get emotionally involved was the Matt Hughes fight. He lost.
Oh yeah.
And the same thing, the Matt Serra fight. Everybody's like, oh, Matt, so you're gonna crush Matt Serra. Matt Serra, he shouldn't be in here with you. And he started believing in his own hype. Then Matt Serra started talking shit because GSP was believing his own hype. And then GSP got emotionally involved and then he loses. So I'm telling you, man, like the people who are more relaxed and just kind of just watch everything.
Yeah.
That's what being relaxed gives you the ability to do, to just see more of that picture. You know? And those guys are generally more successful.
Which I can't imagine is very easy to do in the fight game.
Yeah. But I guess you just gotta see it as a sport.
Yeah.
As soon as you see it as you going there and fighting this guy because we're in a fight, then you're less capable. When you go in, okay, all right, this is what I need to do. This guy's good at this, so I'm going to be good at that. When this happens, that happens. And when you're able to really like in your mind articulate all those things, you're way better off.
Yeah. Do you know anything about Matt Hughes? Is he like, because he was paralyzed or something like?
Yeah, he got hit by a train.
Oh my god.
Yeah, Matt Hughes got hit by a train. He's the last time we saw him, I think he was at the 30-year honors of the UFC. Okay. And he was walking, he was moving around, he was definitely doing better. And that was over a year ago, and he still has a road to go, or then he still had a road to go. But that's a tough dude. Yeah, that's a tough guy, man. He was walking, he was moving, he was waving, and he looked in good spirit. So, but yeah, my man was hit by a train.
Oof. Like how did that even happen? Like did he?
I have no idea. The story's kind of blurry around it, but I don't know if there was something involved.
He was in his car, I think, and that's Yeah, I was watching this story about him, and I'm like watching some of the recovery videos and how he was, you look for motivational stuff when you go through surgery. I'm 5 weeks to this day, my right total hip replacement, and I'm like walking without a cane.
Yeah, my man's like superstar over here. Yeah, for real. I came here the other day. I was like, you sure you had surgery? Yeah. He was on here lunging, like, this is how I can lunge on this hip now. I was like, shit, I can't even do that.
I paid for it the next day.
Did you?
Yeah. I was like, look how much I can do. And I'm like, I should have done that. But like watching videos of Matt Hughes, like a guy that just went through that, I'm like, okay, I gotta not feel sorry for myself. But that dude, man, poof.
Yeah, there's a lot of those stories out there, man. And it's like, that's why this thing called life, man, you gotta grab it by the horns and just enjoy it, man. Cause shit, I know it sounds cliche, but shit can happen any given time, and change your quality of life in like total 180, Right. So yeah, enjoy this thing. Be good to each other.
And a great way to do that is to check out Arthur Murray Dance Studio here in Virginia Beach, Virginia, because if you want to add a quality to your life, dancing is definitely one of those ways to do that. Whether you want to make new friends, rekindle a relationship, whatever the reasons may be, dancing provides that and more.
He got that from the book of Antoine Segue. It's like the smoothest and worst segue all at the same time. Yeah, man. But yeah, he's right though. Go check that out. Especially Christmas time. You're looking for last minute gifts. Hell yeah. Go get your gift card, gift certificate. Yeah, I got gift certificates, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Get a gift card or certificate. Give it to your loved one. Learn how to dance.
Yeah.
I always, when I was especially in high school and like the prom, I always wish I knew how to dance, right? But you know, when you get there, like back then in my day, this is all you had to do.
Yeah.
You're like, you know, I taught my best buddy Baha how to do that, and you know, I taught him everything he knows about dancing, and I didn't even know how to dance. But going back, I wish I could have like been fresh, you know, doing some dope shit.
Yeah, we get a lot of people that come in and say, man, I wish I did this when I was younger, like all the time. It's funny, like so you went to your school dances?
Yeah, dude. Yeah, I went to everyone's school dance.
Dang.
I went to my prom. I didn't go to my ring dance, but I went to my prom. I went to like 2 other schools' proms. Yeah, I had a thing about dating girls at my school. I didn't want to date girls at my school. Yeah, I don't know why.
Didn't want to get a rep.
Maybe I didn't want him to see what the scandalous bullshit I was trying to pull off. But yeah, I went to my prom, Greenbrier Catholics prom.
Wow.
Or Greenbrier Christian Academy's prom. I don't know. Long stories.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't go to any of mine.
No,
not a single one.
Too cool for
too
school.
Cool. Huh? At that time, I was growing my hair out, and I was in a band. I was too cool.
What? Yeah. Nah, you got to go see what everybody.
I know. I regret
doing.
it. I regret it. Making up for it now.
My car got robbed prom night.
What?
Yeah, my date. She worked at Fuddruckers. She worked at Fuddruckers, and she wanted to stop so her coworkers could see her dress. So we go in and go show off, take pictures, whatever, and come out, and all my cash was going, camera was going, everything was going out of my car. And my mom rents a car, and my mom wasn't rolling in there. I was like, shit. So I go back home before we go to the prom. I was like, Mom.
Oh man.
Somebody broke into the car. Can you loan me a couple $100?
Wow.
She's like, what? She was in and she was sleeping too. And so you gotta wake her up. And y'all know that's the worst when you gotta go and wake your mom up.
Yeah.
Like, oh shit. You're pacing back and forth trying to figure out how you gonna fucking make this shit work. And I just went in there, knocked on the door, like she can barely hear it. And I was like, yeah, car got broken into.
Damn.
Yeah. But the prom was fun though.
Did she give you money?
Yeah, she gave me some cash.
Okay.
She gave me cash. But she was not happy about it at all.
We when Antoine first came in, we were talking about I was showing off my PS Vita.
Yes, the PSV. We were talking about this in the last podcast.
Yeah.
And
finally brought it in.
I had no idea. I can't, as soon as I saw it, it's like, oh shit, that's right.
Yeah.
But man, that thing is still legit. Like if you see the graphics, it stands up.
It stands up, even today. But this is my second one because my first one it got stolen, but I left it in an airplane in the seat back pocket. So don't ever leave anything in the seat back pocket. No, I left it on my seat. And somebody just snatched it as I remembered if I was in the back in the airport to try to get it. I was like, damn it, no.
You're probably preaching to the choir right now. There's probably so many people out there who left shit on that fucking airplane.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, it's crazy. He's selling it, by the way, $20. You can have it.
What? Not true. Not true.
He's like, the comments is like, give 25. Man.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Any last words, man? What you got?
No, we're going out of town next week, so
we're gonna take a week off.
We're gonna take a week off, and then when we get back, we got some updates for you.
Keep it coming. Keep it coming, guys. If you don't mind, please subscribe. Smash the subscribe button. Listen to the podcast. Follow us on Instagram. Alpha Geek on Instagram. I'm Antoine Britt. Antoine the Juggernaut on Instagram, the Juggernaut of Fitness on TikTok, and then Antoine Britt on Facebook.
I'd like to thank all of our viewers in Turkey.
Yes.
One of our videos had 1,100 views.
Just in Turkey. Yeah. What was up? What did we do? What did we talk about on that one? Yes.
But yeah, so thanks for those views. But again, all kidding aside, if you do want to check out and learn how to dance in the Hampton Roads area, check out the Arthur Murray Dance Studio of Virginia Beach at cutterug.net. But that's it for me.
Yes, and if you need energy for your dance class, check out Juggernaut Cookies. We have the best tasting gluten-free protein cookies on the market. 12 grams of protein, gluten-free, non-GMO. Use the promo code CookiePro20 to save 20% at www.cookiehunk.com.
All right, and they are delicious.
They're tasty.
Yeah.
Y'all have a good holiday season, y'all. Happy New Year. Peace.